Folks, welcome back here to my channel. This is Whiskey Wismar. My name is Christopher, and today I have two Longmorns here on my table. One very new release by Meadowside Blending, the Maltman, 10-year-old Longmorn PX finish with 52.9% ABV. And on the other hand, here on my left hand side, this is a 26-year-old Longmorn bottled by TheWhiskyCask. So German independent bottler here. Meadowside Blending, maybe to highlight a little bit about them, as they of course are much more readily available than TheWhiskyCask here in Germany. This is the people responsible for these bottlings, Meadowside Blending, are the Hart brothers, Alistair and Donald, as well as his son Andrew. They were in the business for decades, really, since the 1960s or 70s, I believe, as cask brokers and then later independent bottlers. And many of you know probably the independent bottlings labeled Hart brothers. Quite a number of those around. And in 2007, one of the brothers, Lane, he left the business, and then they sold the company, Hart Brothers, and re-established Meadowside Blending, situated in Glasgow. And since then, they released quite a number of stunners, particularly some of the secret Speysides, the mystery malts, or secret Orkneys, secret Isla. They made quite a name for themselves. Some of them competitive price, considered to be Macallan's. I don't know, but apparently also pretty good whiskeys, even in their own right, without us knowing what it is. And a week ago, or a week and a half, they released a new Longmorn here in Germany, a 10-year-old. I haven't seen independent Longmorns for quite a while, really. They were pretty prevalent from the 1996 vintage, 5 years ago, when a whole range was released by Signatory and The Ultimate. And since then, I haven't seen much, really. But now, 2008 vintage here, this Longmorn, very dark, of course. When you see this competitive price, I believe it was something like 70 euros, and this intensely dark color, then everybody's, what is this? I need to get this. And it was sold out in one of the big retailers, online retailers here in an hour or so. Since then, the prices went up drastically. Secondary market, I saw a few for 150, 140 euros. We'll see whether that holds up. On the other hand, a 26-year-old Longmorn, and both PX or PX maturation, here PX finish, and here PX sherry butt. This 26-year-old Longmorn, 48.3%, so both of them I will try without water. So it should be enough. And here. So I will nose it, taste it, and then give it a mark. I'll start with a young one. Let's see. Wood juice. Sweet wood juice. And baked apple. Those candied apples on festival grounds. This is what it reminds me. But at first impression, wood juice. You taste, or you can smell the alcohol. This, the almost 53%, they make themselves known, but the wood, the oak, it's pretty superficial. And then behind it, you can also sense the bourbon heart This was matured in a bourbon cask for sure, as with so many of my associations of apples, overripe, baked, maybe even some pears, and very sweet as well from the PX. But yeah, a good bourbon maturation could have been just as sweet. I'm not quite sure why, if this was a good bourbon cask, why they would add the PX finish to it. I mean, it's pretty much all sold out. How many bottles this were, I don't know. But it served them well, it seems. But I'm not quite sure whether this PX finish served this bottling all that well. Candy, candy canes, very sweet, powdered sugar, cotton candy, very sugared, lots of over-the-top aromas. Not unpleasant, but I'm not sure whether it fits with the initial bourbon maturation all that well. So, without tasting it, I will nose the old one, the 26-year-old. And this is light years away. You have all kinds of spice in this: nutmeg, clove, ground cumin. Lots of oranges. Sometimes Longmorn is associated with having, or the distillate is very orange forward. They make themselves known through the maturation, and this is what I can attest to this. Yeah. Not overripe, no blood oranges, not overripe oranges, but really ripe, juicy, with a tiny tangy edge to it, oranges, but also darker aromas. They are hard to describe. It's like a little bit of varnish, solvents, but also oils. So reminding me a little bit of a warehouse or tool shop, but ever so slightly. Then the oranges hit you back and say, "Hey, here I am. You're not in a machine shop. You're an orange plantation." Pretty pleasant, yeah. A little bit of sweetness there, but also some sour, as I said, tangy notes in the background. So orangey, spicy, and tertiary aromas of solvents, oils. Interesting, very interesting and pleasant, and certainly completely different. These are light years apart, yeah. No chance to associate these with each other if you taste them blind. At least not for me. No chance at all. Yeah, this seems like artificially flavored wood juice in comparison to this. Okay, I'll try it. You taste this as well. It does not come together all that well. You have all the sweetness from UPX, maybe from the bourbon cask. Not too sure whether it was refill, hogshead, whatever. But all the apples that I indicated earlier tell me that this was a proper bourbon maturation, bourbon barrel, and they're still, but it's very sweet, very lots of sugar in there, as I said, cotton candy. And then the oak from the PX finish. I mean, somehow they needed to get color in this, and even a PX sherry would have would induce some sort of oakiness in this if it was matured in it was matured in an oak cask. So this is what you have here, but it's not really ingrained in the spirit. So you definitely miss the additive maturation that you have if you let this sit in a cask for a while. This seems rushed. Slightly disappointed. It is not unpleasant. It is not as if this tastes rotten or there are raw edges to it or has any aromas that are particularly weird. Not at all. It's just that the PX finish apparently and what was there before, they couldn't interact yet. Okay. Now let me try the 26-year-old Longmorn. Reminds me now of a different 1992 Longmorn I had. Different sherry maturation, a little darker, and they had... It was full of pickled pumpkin. Do people still eat that today? I haven't had it in a long while now. It's quite nice actually. Pickled canned pumpkin. And this... pretty far away, but reminiscent of that. So it has a sour edge to it. This works well. Yeah, it is very well balanced. It's sweet, it's sour, ever so slightly sour. A little bit of saltiness. So one of the impressions I had earlier in the German video, in the German tasting of this, was cucumber or pickled cucumbers, the pickles. Now the juice from those pickles that you have, when you ferment those cucumbers and they turn into pickles, then this is what I had. But now this pumpkin, this fermented pickled pumpkin is much more to the point. A little bit of oak there, but not overly so. You don't have any eucalyptus, no hard tannins, so this could not have been an European oak cask, if you ask me. Works very well, very pleasant, well balanced. Interesting nose, interesting palate. Good stuff. So, now one last sip of each for the finish. And then I'll mark it. A little bit of coconut maybe. So this too must have been American oak. Fermented, baked apples, coconut. Small hiccup there with my camera. Sorry for that. So continuing now here with the Longmorn. As I was saying, it does not come together all that well. But I now want to see how the finish of this 26-year-old holds up. Juicy, sweet, orangey, spicy, lots of dried fruit. This pickled pumpkin note that I was describing earlier. Not bitter, no real darkness inducing chocolate or dates or figs, not really. just pleasant, juicy sweetness. This orange note, cannot overstate it enough. This pumpkin, and then clove, nutmeg. Very pleasant stuff. Great, great even. Now, what would I give these two? I think this does not work all that well. A little bit disappointed. First of all, because it's Longmorn, one of my favorite distilleries, and then also the Maltman, one of my favorite bottlers. So, not quite sure what they were trying to achieve with this. I would give this 83 out of 100. It is pleasant. It does not have any off notes, none whatsoever, but at least 5 more years, 10 more years in the cask, and this could have been golden juice. The 26-year-old Longmorn, on the other hand, works much better, and I would give this 88 out of 100. It just works. Good age and very pleasant aromas and flavors, and they might be hard to come by as this is German only bottler, but 1992 Longmorns, there are a few, so keep your eye out. They are weird but nice. 88 for the old one, 83 for the new hype Longmorn here with 10 years of age. In any case, thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. What was your favorite Longmorn that you ever had? Maybe some of the old G&M, Gordon MacPhail Longmorns, or some other stuff. Let me know. Maybe some of the official bottlings. There are a few, but not too many. Let me know in the comments, and I hope you have a great week. See you next time. Bye bye.